They're petrified. Reform in a row with Labour over delayed local elections. We're going to read into this exclusive from iNews, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here, an exclusive from iNews with their headline that they're petrified. Reform in a row with Labour over delayed local elections. Reform's Deputy Leader Richard Tice claims that more than half of the scheduled elections for the 2,240 council seats across 32 counties could be postponed to allow councils to prepare for Labour's devolution process. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. I should point out before we read into it as well and give my initial thoughts. Labour have strongly denied this, and Labour have called practically Richard Tice a liar. I don't think it's going to be 2,240 councils. However, let me be clear about this for those who because obviously there's a lot of reform voters I know who are subscribed to my channel, and they're obviously new to this, new to politics, so I'll just explain it to them, so hopefully they will understand this. It's normal for some council elections to be rescheduled and moved. That's been the norm. It's always been the case. It's been happening all the time, and this is no different to it. It might be the case that Labour are doing a bit more than what the Conservatives were doing. But this has always been a normality where some councils have had to reschedule elections, boundaries have changed, movers and all that kind of stuff. That was happening under the Conservatives. It's going to be happening under Labour. It's perfectly normal. Not everything stays the same. There are some changes. Now, to say that 2,240 seats, where's he got that figure? Where's he got that statistic? What is that from? Does he made it up? Does he have any evidence to verify this? That's the question. Like, what evidence does he have that this is that is definitely going to be over 2,000 council seats changing? Like, if you can provide me with that information, like a reliable source in the description in the comments below, great. I'll have a look. Point me in the right direction. But making this claim when he's not even in government. Like, has he been doing the research, or is he just saying this to stoke tension, to rile up people, or to try to portray in some way, shape, or form that the Labour government in the May local elections, like they're going to try and delay the local elections completely? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Yeah, let's be real. They're not going to do that. They will make changes around council seats. How many we don't know, but that's been normal. You guys weren't saying anything about this when the Conservatives were doing this. Under 14 years, they made some changes here and there. I didn't see anyone kicking up a fuss then, but all of a sudden, Reform care now. It's almost as if they wanted to attack Labour over this and not the Conservatives. So Nigel Farage's Reform UK have accused the government of plotting to cancel roughly half of May's council elections to slow the party's momentum. I should point out as well, for all those people who are saying Reform are on the rise and whatnot, Reform don't have a lot of council seats. The Green Party have over 800 council seats. Reform have less than 50. So until you actually start winning the council seats, like on the local level, we'll see the big talking then. Deputy Leader Richard Tice told the paper that opposition parties are petrified of Reform's chances of success at the local elections scheduled for the 1st of May. But Labour has hit back saying this is not true and that no decisions have been taken. In mid-December, the government have revealed that some local elections could be delayed for up to a year and some authorities being overhauled as part of Labour's devolution plans, which will see some smaller councils combined into bigger strategic authorities with more sway over their areas. English councils involved in Labour's regional devolution plans have until the 10th of January to request a local election postponement. Spokesman for the Ministry of Housing, Community and Local Government, the MHCLG, which is run by the Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, said no decisions on cancelling any local elections would be taken until all requests had been received by Friday's deadline. This is not true. No decisions have been taken, said the MHCLG spokesman. We will only consider postponing elections for areas where the council concerned have requested it and where it helps an area to deliver reorganisation and devolution to the most ambitious timeline. In cases where Rayner does permit local election delay, it's understood that she will argue they were necessary to avoid confusing voters while the authorities in question undergo reorganisation. Are you paying attention to any of this? No, you're probably all going to just call this all propaganda, which is probably what some of you are going to do. Reform have now argued the move represents a plot to thwart the electoral fortunes of allowing the growth in the party's membership that saw it overtake the Conservative Party during the Christmas break. This is absolute nonsense. Tice said, we think that we really could do really well in the elections and that actually do take place, given that obviously quite a lot of them are being postponed a year because the Tories are petrified, as are the Labour Party. Government has not confirmed which local elections will be postponing for allowing for reconstruction. But Tice claims more than half of the electorate scheduled in the 2,240 council seats across 32 councils could be postponed to allow councils to prepare for enlargement processes. My hunch. Okay, so his hunch, right? So you're just going to go off his hunch. That's what you're going to do, reformers. Yeah, we're just going to, let's just go with a hunch with what Richard Tice is saying, I'm just going to pluck a number out of thin air for you guys to go with. Of the 2,240 English seats due to be up for grabs, I'd be surprised if half actually take place, the businessman turned politician added. As we surge in the polls and head towards the great local election result, wouldn't it be such a coincidence that many of those elections are cancelled? Wow, what a coincidence. Again, he was not paying attention. Another reform figure suggested that delays could be presented as a decision to help prepare for the local authority shake-up while helping some councils to avoid an early election battle with her party. Dame Andrea Jenkins, the one that stuck middle finger up at constituents for no reason, because, free speech. Reforms candidate for the new mayor of Greater Lincolnshire said postponing any local elections would be a denial of democracy by Labour. Again, she was not saying any of this when she was under the Conservatives in their government. Where was she kicking up? Was she kicking up a stinker when Conservatives were making some of these changes? No, of course not. Lincolnshire is one of 6 new mayors being planned by Labour, a race Reform believes it can win, not least because voters in their county elected Tice as the MP for Bolton and Stagness at last July's general election. Unlike the threatening postponement of some local council elections, the election of the new regional mayors will go ahead. If a local council, Labour, Liberal Democrat or Tory, recommends to the government that they should postpone their local elections, there will be a lot of pushback against them, Jenkins told the I paper. So, if elections are cancelled 4 months before they are due to happen, I think there will be a reaction from voters against whichever party controls any of those councils. And that may well actually work in our favour. Conservative councillor Martin Hill, the leader of Lincolnshire County Council, said he was anticipating the country's council elections to be held as planned in May. And he added, I believe some elections could be postponed for 1 year to enable devolution to happen. That doesn't apply in Greater Lincolnshire, as we have already achieved our deal. The government will decide on proposed elections for areas where the council concerned are requesting it. It is understood that Rayner will permit elections postponement in councils that are restructuring through the government's devolution priority programme, or where reorganisation is necessary to unlock devolution or to open up new devolution options. Any postponement to local elections would not be the first time in such a decision has been taken. In May 2021, local elections in 3 English councils were postponed until May 2022 as a result of local authorities restructuring by the then Conservative government. Cumbria, Somerset and North Yorkshire all postponed their elections before becoming utility authorities. Local Government Association, which represents the interests of councils in England and Wales, declined to comment. So, we have to wait and see, is the answer. Just people jumping on the bandwagon already. Read what the government is saying, what the government is telling you, okay, on this. They are saying that this is what they are saying. And I know what some of you are going to say. You're going to be screaming in the comments in caps lock, they're lying to you. We don't know for sure what is and what is being changed. And he literally said, he plucked 2,240 council seats out of his head, Richard Tice. How does he know? He does not know. Okay, there will be some council seats that may get delayed or by a year. That is possible. But to say the local elections are not going to happen, or to make some kind of exoneration that Labour are going to postpone the local elections, is absolute nonsense. Don't believe it. Don't buy into it. We are going to have those local elections. And hey, for all those reform voters that think reform are going to take over and whatnot, start planning them now. Start getting your priorities right now. start encouraging more people to vote reform if you really think they are in your best interest when they're actually not. But okay, but it's just scaremongering. It's pure scaremongering from Richard Tice is what this is. The elections will happen. There will be council elections. They may not be as many because there may be a few less because of changes. But changes are a part of it. It's the norm. You can't always have things the same all the time. Changes are necessary. But for those who have common sense, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this absurd claim by Richard Tice and Reform's deputy leader? Do you believe anything that he says? Do you believe that there will be changes to council seats of that magnitude, or do you think he's just talking out of his backside to try and scare people into believing that Labour aren't going ahead with the local elections? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments section below. If you found this video informative and helpful to you, please hit the like button, greatly appreciated. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. If you want to go one step further and finally support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.